Hello, welcome back my friends to another lesson. In this lesson we are going to be exploring colors in PineScript. So we have several ways to work with colors in our scripts. The most common colors you'll probably use are the inbuilt colors. So right here I have pretty much a blank script. All I've done is change the plot function to a background color function. I've created a variable called myTotalAwesomeColor and I've set this variable to color.black. And then I'm just passing this variable into our background color function. As such, we are getting a black background plotting into our indicator box here. So the first colors I want to cover are the inbuilt ones. If we press Control Space after writing color and a full stop, we get all of the color namespace functions and variables. They're all mixed in here. We'll go over the RGB functions and all of these other functions here in a moment, but what I want to draw your attention to are these colors here. These are all built-in colors that you can quickly and easily reference in your scripts. So if we wanted to set this to aqua, if I save the script, voila, we have an aqua background color. So that is the easiest way to use color in PineScript. We do have a few other options here though. The next option I want to show you is the RGB function. So this function takes up to 4 parameters. It requires a minimum of 3. You need to specify the red amount, the green amount, and the blue amount. If you remember primary school, the primary color tables, a mix of these colors will give you different colors. And these values range from 0 to 255. Now don't ask me why it's not 0 to 100. It's complex to explain. It has something to do with how many bits, like computer bits, are involved in the number that generates the color. You don't need to know any of that stuff. All you need to know is that 100% red is 255, 0% red is 0. So if I wanted to get just the color red, I would type in here 255, 0, 0. Now when I save the script, we'll get a red, bright red background onto our indicator box. So the first number is our red value, the second is our green value, RG, and then B is blue. That's our final value here. We can also optionally, this is not mandatory, but you can choose to specify a transparency amount. So if I put 50 in here, when I save this script, our color will have a 50% transparency applied to it and it will be a little bit dimmer as you see there. So that's all you really need to know about the RGB function. If you want to get a mix of red, green, and blue to generate a custom color, you can use various free tools online. Just Google RGB generator or RGB colors and there's plenty of tools out here. Color Picker is a good one where you can pick your color and you get your RGB value as well as hexadecimal colors, which we'll cover in a moment. But first, let's get back to the Pine editor. So that is how you build a color using the RGB function. We could change these values if we want to. Let's change them to just random numbers and save the script. Now we're getting a random color. So that's how you can play around with the RGB function to get custom colors. There are some other color functions we have to work with. If I do color.control space, we can get the individual colors from a color, so we can get the blue value, the green value, and the red value if we want to. I don't think you'll ever need to do this unless you're working with a script that has a complex color theme to it. So we'll skip that for now. So let's move on to another common application of the color namespace that you will be using, which is to generate transparency on the inbuilt colors. So let's say we just want to use color dot, let's go with blue this time. Let's save the script. Now we have a bright blue as our background color. But what if I wanted to apply, let's say 20% transparency to this color? Well, the way we do that is using the color.new function. So this will generate a new color from an existing color. And basically it will just apply the transparency to the given color. So if I pass in here color.blue, comma, and then the next number we put in here will dictate the transparency of this new color. So if I put in 20% here, 20% transparency, save the script, our blue color will dim just slightly. If I set this to 90, then it will dim quite significantly. There we go. So that is how you get transparency from the inbuilt colors. So for example, if you were plotting the closing price here and you wanted to set the color to a transparent blue, or let's do a transparent green, this is how you would do it. You set the color to the color.new function, and then you pass in an inbuilt color or any color value for that matter. It doesn't have to be an inbuilt color. It could be a custom RGB color. But again, if you're using the color.rgb function, you can specify your transparency directly in there. So this is most used for applying transparency to the inbuilt colors that PineScript offer. So now if I save the script, we are plotting, you probably can't see it very well because it's got 90% transparency. Let's change this to 50. We are plotting a green line onto our chart with 50% transparency using the inbuilt green color. The last color type that I'll show you how to work with is hexadecimal colors, but this is how you will mostly be working with colors in your script. You apply the color parameter to whatever shape, plot, background color, whatever thing you are drawing onto your chart that can take a color input. This is how you assign it a color, and this is how you assign it a transparency amount. So let's get rid of this plot and get rid of this, and let's specify our color using hexadecimal code. So before I continue, what is a hexadecimal color, you might ask? Let's go to Google. So hex colors are a way of representing colors from various color models through hexadecimal values. Now hexadecimal is just a mathematical term. You don't need to know what it means. All you need to know is that the same way we use the RGB function to specify our red, green, and blue values, hexadecimal does exactly the same thing, but it uses numbers and letters. So 0 is no color, F is full color, and everything in between these values is different shades. So we can count from 0 to 9 and from A to F. And then the way you specify your color is the first two values are your red values, or the first two letters or digits in your hex code is red, the second two digits are green, and the last two are blue. And I believe in PineScript we also have access to another two digits which specifies your transparency. So you don't need to know how hexadecimal colors work in order to use them. So let's just jump back over to the PineScript editor and I'll wrap up this lesson by creating some hex colors. Before I do that, I should mention that there are several tools out there that you can use for picking colors. Just Google a color picker and there's heaps out there. Find one that you like, and then all you need to do is click on the color that you see on your screen and then copy this code here. So let's go with pink and copy this hex code and jump into the Pine editor. And now let's paste in this hex color and save the script. Voila, easy. We have a nice pink background there using our hex colors. So again, let's just quickly go over these values. If I wanted a black background, all I need to do is 000000, save the script, and we'll get dark black. If I wanted white, it would be FFFFFF. Save the script. Now we have bright white, and I believe we can use transparency as well. So if I put in, let's try AA in here and save the script, see what happens. Yeah, that worked. So you can see that the white color dimmed a little bit. So you can specify your transparency with hex as well, using the same range of values, so 0 to F, or 0 to 9, and then A to F, with 0 being no transparency and F being full transparency. And so just to wrap up this lesson, let me just show you one last example. Let's change the background color to red. That would be FF0000, save the script. There we have a bright red. Let's try green. That would be 00FF, save the script, and we get bright green. So that's really it for colors in PineScript. They're quite simple to work with once you get the hang of the RGB function or the hex function, whichever you're more comfortable with. If you're used to using hex colors in graphic design or web design, just stick with hex colors. For the most part, you'll probably be using the color dot and then the inbuilt colors here. I rarely use custom colors unless I'm doing a complex color scheme. Most of these inbuilt colors will do the job for most things that you do in PineScript. Just remember that if you need to apply transparency to it, you need to use the color.new, then pass in the inbuilt color, and then a transparency amount. Anyway, that'll do it for this lesson. I'll speak with you in the next one. Take care.